Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
I was just watching a very short interview between Dominic Breazeale over at Fight Hype, and I'll drop the link in the comment section below and I'll pin it, so it's the very first comment you come to, so you can click on that and go give it a watch. Of course, once you've clicked the thumbs up and subscribe to this one, and obviously wait until this video is finished and then go to the comment section, go give it a watch. So within this interview, many things were discussed, but Dillian Whyte was of course brought up because obviously Dominic Breazeale, he's been deemed the mandatory by the WBC, whether we like it or we don't. Personally, I don't agree that him beating Eric Molina should make him mandatory, and of course he's ranked number 3. Dillian Whyte is ranked number 1 and the WBC silver champion, so at a bare minimum these two should fight for the official mandatory position. But the WBC made one big calamity and trying to make Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz, and Whyte's a great fight. I love that fight, and I'm very happy if these guys actually get it on. But for me, I think that Dominic Breazeale and Dillian Whyte need to sort out this whole situation, as in take it out the hands of the WBC and the boxing fans, because there's going to be quite a few fans who's going to agree that Dominic Breazeale should be, because they don't like Dillian Whyte, and of course the Dillian Whyte fans like myself want Dillian Whyte to become the mandatory, or at least have a final eliminator for the mandatory position, as he is the WBC silver champion. So anyway, within this interview he was asked about the possibility of him fighting Dillian Whyte, because he's been waiting for Deontay Wilder. The fight is on, then it's off, then it's on, then it's off, and he doesn't know, and he's been stalling his own career. And of course, with talks that Deontay Wilder could be taking on Tyson Fury in an absolutely stupid fight in potentially late November, early December, then that means that Dominic Breazeale is either going to have to wait around for some time and hope that Deontay Wilder is going to fight him afterwards in maybe early part of 2019. But there again, if he was to sign up and fight Anthony Joshua for April the 13th, then Dominic Breazeale is going to be waiting even longer. So he can't keep stalling his career. He needs to fight and fight somebody. So why not Dillian Whyte sort out this whole mandatory situation? And within this interview, he said, well, he was asked, would you be open to the possibility of fighting Dillian Whyte? And he said, yes, I would. And he said, would you be willing to travel to the UK? And yes, definitely were his words. So that's music to the ears of me, and I'm sure many of you guys, the WBC as well, because they know that they've dropped the ball. And you know, this is something that I'm sure Dillian and Eddie Hearn would be chomping at the bit. So yeah, come on, let's do this. Let's sort out this whole situation, take it out the hands of the WBC and settle this once and for all. But within this interview as well, he did say that because he's going to be putting on his mandatory position on the line, and Dillian Whyte's going to be putting on his WBC silver title on the line, it's a high profile. So pretty much what he's getting at is, pay me a lot of money and all this can happen, because obviously it's a high risk for him. If he was to lose his mandatory position, then he loses a world title shot, and of course revenge over Deontay Wilder for what happened for him in Alabama a little while ago, where he got jumped on by Deontay Wilder and all his goons for whatever reason it was. So he's going to be putting, I don't know, risking a lot, especially against Dillian Whyte. So for this fight to happen, he's going to be wanting a lot of money. And it's just my opinion, of course, that he's probably going to be wanting the same kind of money that he got when he fought Anthony Joshua a couple of years back. And for Eddie Hearn to do that, I would probably imagine it's probably going to have to be Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Breazeale pay-per-view. Now, there is a date free. I think it's November the 3rd in Liverpool. But I don't know if they can maybe get another date somewhere in between for the O2 Arena, which would be, of course, great as well. But there's a date for November 3rd. I don't know whether that's too soon for Dillian, especially after he's been through that camp and that war with Joseph Parker. Don't know if November 3rd might be a bit too soon. I wouldn't blame him if he said, yeah, that is a bit too soon. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But this is music to my ears, and I'm glad that Dominic Breazeale said, yes, I'm willing to do this. So hopefully Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte, they have seen this interview with Dominic Breazeale, and then they get hold of Al Heyman and Dominic Breazeale's advisors and say, listen, let's get this fight done. We're going to offer you this amount, and if you're willing to come to the UK, great. And if not, if there's some kind of stumbling block, then maybe Dillian might be open to go over to America, because we know that Eddie Hearn has got a date set for Vegas as well, a bit later in the year, and of course in New York as well with no fights announced. So maybe Dillian might be quite willing to go over to America to sort out the whole situation. But anyway, I'm just getting that news out there for you all. So for me, this is real good news. And we know Dillian and Eddie Hearn have had a recent meeting about potential fights coming up next. And I know the names of like Derek Chisora has been brought up. For me, Dillian's already been there, done that. This is a step backwards for me. But if he just wants to keep his position, then fine. You know, I mean, for me, I have no problem. You know, he can go fight Daniel Martz. It doesn't bother me. There's plenty of other people out there who keep on taking cherry pick fights and to try and solidify their position. Dillian Whyte has earned the right to have a cherry pick if he wants, but we know Dillian doesn't want to do that. He wants to take on a top 5 contender, and of course that would mean the likes of a Dominic Breazeale or a Luis Ortiz, and if necessary drop down to a top 10. This is the kind of mentality of Dillian Whyte. He wants to be fighting the best. Of course, he could just sit around and just wait for his title shot, but that's not his mentality. He wants the fight, and he wants the best fights out there to test him. So, and I think Dominic Breazeale could do that. And if, of course, this fight gets made, we'll break it down, that kind of thing. But just to let you know, I'm picking Dillian Whyte to beat him by stoppage. But that's just my view. Who knows on the night, right? So anyway, just getting that news out there for you all. So now you're finished with this video, thank you very much. Click that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so, and then go watch the video in the pinned comment section. Catch you all on the next video.